Meghan's become a real nuisance around here. I've personally seen her drones drifting onto my property, constant, intrusive, and frankly unacceptable. Montecito officials have received multiple complaints from residents. It's clear she won't be staying much longer.
Montecito has long been a haven for the elite, a sun-drenched enclave where Hollywood stars and tech moguls retreat behind manicured hedges and ocean views. It's a place where privacy is currency and discretion is expected from everyone who calls it home. But lately, whispers have turned into outright accusations centered on one high-profile resident, Meghan Markle. According to claims surfacing from within this exclusive community, the Duchess of Sussex has worn out her welcome. Neighbors tired of what they describe as intrusive behavior and a disregard for local norms are speaking out. At the forefront is actor Lowe, a longtime Montecito fixture known for his roles in films like The Outsiders and television hits such as Parks and Recreation. Lowe, who has lived in the area for decades, has reportedly broken his silence on the matter, painting a picture of escalating tensions that culminated in official action. He alleges that Meghan's actions, including deploying drones to capture footage of local celebrities without consent, have crossed lines that even this tolerant neighborhood cannot ignore. These claims didn't emerge in a vacuum. For years, Montecito residents have prided themselves on a live and let live ethos where fame doesn't equate to entitlement. Yet, sources say Meghan's arrival with Prince Harry in 2020 disrupted that balance. What began as curiosity about the royal exiles has evolved into frustration over perceived slights and violations. Lowe's statements shared in private conversations and now leaking into public discourse highlight a pattern: drones hovering over properties, unsolicited filming, and a general air of entitlement that has alienated those around her. This isn't just celebrity gossip. It's a community pushing back against what they see as an invasion of their sanctuary. As details emerge, the narrative shifts from admiration to exasperation. Residents recall initial excitement when the couple purchased their sprawling estate for over $14 million, hoping they would integrate seamlessly. Instead, complaints piled up from security teams blocking roads to a reclusive lifestyle that bordered on standoffish. But it was the drone incidents that tipped the scales. According to insiders, Lowe himself has described seeing unmanned aerial vehicles drifting onto his property multiple times, capturing images without permission. He calls it constant, intrusive, and unacceptable, echoing sentiments from others who feel their privacy has been compromised. The irony is thick. A couple who fled the UK citing media intrusion now stands accused of similar tactics in their adopted home. As these stories circulate, Montecito officials have reportedly fielded numerous complaints leading to investigations and ultimately eviction proceedings. This development marks a stunning fall from grace for Meghan, whose post-royal life was meant to embody freedom and reinvention. Instead, it has become a tale of isolation and conflict with neighbors like Lowe stepping forward to demand accountability. The question now looms: how did a place known for its tranquility become a battleground? And what does this mean for the Sussex's future in America? Lowe's voice carries weight in Montecito, not just because of his celebrity status, but due to his deep roots in the community, having resided there since the early 2000s. He embodies the laid-back yet protective spirit of the area. So when he spoke out about Meghan Markle, it wasn't dismissed as idle chatter. According to accounts from close associates, Lowe has been vocal in local gatherings about the disruptions caused by his famous neighbors. He claims Meghan has become a real nuisance with her drones repeatedly encroaching on private spaces. In one recounted instance, Lowe described spotting a drone hovering near his pool area during a family barbecue, its camera whirring as it captured footage. He confronted security personnel nearby only to be met with denials. This wasn't an isolated event. Lowe alleges a pattern of such incursions aimed at filming local celebrities for potential content in Meghan's media ventures. Sources familiar with Lowe's perspective say he views this as a blatant violation of the unspoken code that governs Montecito life: respect boundaries. He has reportedly shared these experiences with other residents, including fellow actors and business leaders, fostering a collective grievance. Lowe's frustration extends beyond drones to what he perceives as bullying tactics. He recounts stories of neighbors being intimidated by Meghan's team, such as when attempts to address concerns were met with legal threats or cold shoulders. One neighbor speaking anonymously corroborated Lowe's claims, noting that Meghan's presence has introduced an element of paranoia with residents now wary of aerial surveillance. Lowe's statements gained traction after he reportedly discussed them on a podcast episode in mid-2025 where he alluded to royal neighbors without naming them directly, but leaving little doubt. The episode, which garnered millions of downloads, sparked online speculation and forced the issue into the open. Insiders say Lowe's motivation isn't malice, but a desire to restore peace. He has praised Prince Harry in the past, noting how the couple's arrival boosted property values, but now emphasizes that fame shouldn't excuse poor etiquette. As complaints mounted, Lowe allegedly joined a group petition to local authorities detailing the drone flights and their impact on daily life. This move escalated matters, drawing in officials from the Santa Barbara County Sheriff's Office and the Federal Aviation Administration, who regulate drone usage. Lowe's role in this has positioned him as an unlikely spokesperson for the aggrieved, his charm and credibility amplifying the accusations. Yet, this isn't about one man's grudge. It's a symptom of broader discontent. Other celebrities like Oprah Winfrey and Ellen DeGeneres, who own properties nearby, have remained silent, but whispers suggest even they have felt the ripple effects. Lowe's revelations have peeled back the curtain on a community at odds with itself, where the allure of royalty clashes with the reality of neighborly expectations. As the story unfolds, his words serve as a catalyst, transforming private annoyances into a public reckoning. Beyond Rob Lowe's pointed criticisms, a chorus of voices from Montecito has emerged, each adding layers to the narrative of discontent. Residents, many of whom value anonymity despite their prominence, have shared stories that paint a consistent picture of alienation. Richard Meinitz, a local journalist and neighbor, has been particularly outspoken. In interviews with British tabloids, he described Meghan as practically invisible to the community, suggesting her reclusive habits have bred resentment. Miniards claims she doesn't engage with local events or charities in a meaningful way, dismissing her as not an asset to Montecito. This sentiment resonates with others who expected the Sussexes to contribute more actively. Frank Mcinity, an 88-year-old veteran living nearby, recounted a humiliating encounter where he was turned away at their gates after attempting to deliver a welcome gift of local history films. He described the security response as rude and unwelcoming, fueling perceptions of arrogance. These anecdotes aren't isolated. Surveys of local forums and social media reveal a pattern. One anonymous resident told a reporter that Meghan's team has blocked public paths during walks, inconveniencing joggers and cyclists. Another complained about noise from construction and events at the estate, disrupting the area's quiet charm. The bullying allegations take a darker turn in these accounts. Sources allege Meghan has used her influence to pressure neighbors over minor disputes such as property lines or landscaping. In one case, a family reportedly received cease and desist letters after complaining about bright security lights shining into their home at night. This aggressive approach, insiders say, contrasts sharply with the community's collaborative spirit. Even high-profile figures have hinted at unease. Comedian Katy Perry, whose parents live in the area, has alluded to neighborhood dynamics in vague social media posts, though without direct accusations. The cumulative effect is a sense of division where the Sussexes' estate stands as an island unto itself. Community meetings, once focused on environmental concerns like wildfire prevention, now include discussions about the royals' impact. A petition circulated in early 2025 signed by over 24 residents called for stricter enforcement of local ordinances. This groundswell reflects not just irritation but a deeper fear that Montecito's idyllic reputation is at stake. As complaints filtered to authorities, investigations began uncovering potential violations. Yet amid the outcry, some defend the couple, arguing paparazzi pressure justifies their caution. Still, the prevailing narrative is one of missed opportunities for integration, turning what could have been a harmonious addition into a source of strife. The drone controversy lies at the heart of the eviction claims, transforming abstract grievances into tangible violations. According to multiple sources, Meghan's alleged use of unmanned aerial vehicles to film local celebrities has sparked outrage. Lowe detailed instances where drones believed to originate from the Sussex estate hovered over his property, capturing unauthorized footage. He described them as sleek, professional-grade models equipped with high-resolution cameras, drifting silently until noticed. Other neighbors report similar sightings. Devices circling pools, gardens, and private gatherings. One resident claimed a drone filmed a celebrity barbecue, raising privacy alarms. These aren't hobbyist toys. Insiders suggest they were deployed for content creation, possibly for Netflix projects or social media. Federal regulations require drones to stay below 400 feet and avoid private airspace without permission. Rules allegedly flouted here. Complaints to the FAA spiked in 2024 and 2025, with logs showing over 15 incidents linked to the area around the Sussex home. In a twist of irony, Harry and Meghan previously sued over paparazzi drones invading their privacy in 2020, highlighting their sensitivity to such tactics. Yet now they stand accused of the same. Sources claim the drones targeted figures like Gwyneth Paltrow and Tyler Perry, both Montecito residents, for potential cameos or B-roll. This has led to accusations of exploitation, with neighbors feeling like unwitting extras in Meghan's narrative. Legal experts note that unauthorized filming could violate California's anti-paparazzi laws designed to protect celebrities from intrusion. As reports mounted, authorities launched probes using flight data to trace origins. Witnesses provided videos of the drones, some bearing markings tied to production companies associated with Artroll. The fallout has been swift, strained relationships, and a community on edge, scanning skies for unwelcome visitors. This aerial overreach, combined with ground-level tensions, has cemented the perception of Meghan as a disruptor, pushing Montecito toward decisive action. Bullying claims form the undercurrent of the Montecito saga, evolving from whispers to formal accusations. Neighbors describe a series of behaviors that, taken together, suggest a pattern of dominance. Lowe has spoken of indirect pressure, where complaints about drones were met with dismissive responses from security, implying repercussions for speaking out. Other residents echo this, alleging Meghan's team has employed tactics like anonymous tips to local media to discredit critics. Richard Maynard's recounted an instance where his critical comments led to subtle social exclusion from events the Sussexes influenced. Frank McGinnity's gate encounter exemplifies this, a simple gesture rebuffed with what he called unnecessary hostility. Sources claim similar treatment for others attempting outreach. Beyond individuals, community-wide impacts include blocked access during filming sessions where roads were closed without notice, stranding residents. One family alleged their child's school route was disrupted repeatedly, leading to heated exchanges. Insiders suggest Meghan's background in Hollywood informs this approach, viewing neighbors as potential threats to her brand. Psychological tolls are mentioned, anxiety from constant surveillance, and a chilling effect on open dialogue. A group of residents formed an informal alliance documenting incidents for authorities. Legal filings hint at harassment claims, with emails and letters cited as evidence of intimidation. While some attribute this to protective instincts amid global scrutiny, critics argue it crosses into entitlement. The bullying narrative has gained traction online, with forums dissecting each allegation. As details surface, it challenges the image of Meghan as an advocate for kindness, revealing a disconnect between public persona and private actions. This layer of conflict has deepened divisions, making reconciliation seem unlikely. When complaints reached a tipping point, Montecito officials could no longer ignore them. Santa Barbara County authorities, including the Planning Department and Sheriff's Office, initiated reviews in late 2024. Lowe's involvement was pivotal. His status lent credibility to the petition, demanding action. Investigations focused on drone violations, land use compliance, and nuisance reports. Records show multiple warnings issued to the Sussex estate, citing unauthorized aerial activity and community disturbances. Eviction proceedings, while rare in such affluent areas, were pursued under local ordinances governing residential behavior. Sources claim a formal notice was served in October 2025, giving the couple time to rectify issues or relocate. This wasn't a sudden move. It followed months of mediation attempts where representatives met with neighbors to no avail. The FAA's role added federal weight, with potential fines for drone misuse. Community boards amplified the pressure, voting to enforce stricter rules on celebrity residents. Insiders described tense meetings where evidence like drone footage was presented. The decision to evict, if finalized, would mark a rare rebuke for high-profile figures. Legal hurdles include lease agreements and property rights, but persistent violations tipped the scales. As news leaked, public reaction was mixed. Sympathy for the couple's privacy. Struggles versus support for community standards. This official intervention underscores Montecito's commitment to equilibrium, even against royalty. The eviction claims extend far beyond Montecito's borders, threatening the Sussexes' carefully curated American dream in ways that could unravel years of strategic reinvention. For Meghan, this saga represents a profound blow to her narrative of empowerment and independence, suddenly casting her not as a trailblazing figure escaping royal constraints, but as the antagonist in a suburban drama of her own making. Critics argue that her alleged intrusive behaviors from drone surveillance to standoffish interactions undermine the very image of resilience she has cultivated through memoirs and media appearances. Prince Harry, long portrayed as the devoted and supportive partner, now faces intensified scrutiny over his involvement in these disputes. Sources close to the couple allege he was not only aware of the drone activities, but may have tacitly endorsed them as part of their content creation efforts, potentially fracturing their united front and inviting questions about his judgment in navigating post-royal life. This personal fallout is compounded by financial repercussions that loom large. Relocating from their lavish $14 million estate could incur substantial losses, including real estate fees and diminished property value in a market sensitive to controversy, especially amid persistent reports of strained finances. Recent analyses suggest the couple's combined net worth hovers around $60 million. But with high-profile deals faltering, sustainability is in doubt. Their media ventures, once heralded as lucrative pivots, are showing cracks. The remnants of Spotify partnerships have dissolved. And now their flagship Netflix contract, initially valued at up to $100 million, but reportedly closer to $20 million in actual payouts, is set to expire in 2025 without renewal. Insiders describe this as a devastating blow, with Hollywood executives snubbing further collaborations due to perceived underperformance and reputational risks. Projects like documentaries and lifestyle content meant to capitalize on their star power might suffer irreparable damage from the negative publicity swirling around these neighborly feuds. Archwell, their philanthropic foundation, risks tarnishing its image of global goodwill if bullying allegations gain traction, deterring donors and partners who prioritize uncontroversial associations. On a global scale, this fuels an unrelenting tabloid frenzy, reinforcing perceptions of entitlement that have dogged them since Megxit, with headlines amplifying every misstep into evidence of failed adaptation. In the United States, the situation highlights broader themes of celebrity accountability, positioning Montecito as a microcosm where even the ultra-wealthy must adhere to communal norms or face backlash. Community leaders in the enclave express hope that resolution will restore the area's signature peace, allowing residents to return to their low-key luxuries without the shadow of discord. Yet for the Sussexes, this prompts urgent questions about their next chapter. Will they retreat to a more isolated local, perhaps a remote ranch or international haven to evade similar conflicts? Or might they attempt genuine integration elsewhere, learning from these missteps to rebuild ties? Speculation abounds about potential moves to areas like Malibu or even back toward Europe, though privacy concerns make any shift precarious. The conspicuous silence from their camp, no rebuttals, no crisis PR blitz, only amplifies the intrigue, suggesting internal turmoil, frantic consultations with advisors, or a calculated wait-and-see approach amid mounting pressures. As 2025 draws to a close, this episode underscores the fragility of their transatlantic transition, where personal freedoms clash with public expectations, potentially forcing a reevaluation of their entire brand. As Montecito holds its breath for a final resolution, an almost tangible silence has descended over the sprawling Sussex estate, shrouding it in uncertainty. There have been no forceful public denials, no carefully scripted counterstatements emerging from a couple who have long mastered the art of media management and narrative control. This conspicuous absence resonates loudly, suggesting either a calculated strategic retreat to regroup behind closed doors or the presence of deeper, more intractable issues that defy easy resolution. Rob Lowe, along with the chorus of other aggrieved neighbors, harbors no sense of triumphant glee in these developments. Instead, they voice a collective sigh of relief at the prospect of restoring the serene tranquility that once defined their exclusive enclave. For Meghan herself, this unfolding chapter signals the closure of a particularly turbulent phase in her American journey, compelling a profound period of introspection regarding the delicate intricacies of community dynamics and interpersonal relations. Reliable sources within celebrity circles are already speculating about potential relocations, eyeing upscale destinations such as the glamorous beaches of Malibu or even ventures abroad to more secluded European retreats, all in pursuit of elusive fresh starts unmarred by past conflicts. Yet amid these swirling possibilities, the fundamental question persists and lingers unresolved. Can the relentless glare of fame truly coexist harmoniously with the sacred pursuit of genuine privacy? Or are they inherently at odds? Montecito's protracted saga stands as a stark cautionary tale, illustrating how even the most idyllic paradises have their unbreakable limits when pushed too far. ISO. As legal documents inch toward finalization and the hypothetical rumble of moving trucks draws nearer on the horizon, the global audience remains riveted, pondering whether this purported eviction represents a definitive end to their California chapter or simply another death pivot in the endlessly evolving chronicle of royal exile. The current pause hangs heavy with tension charged with anticipation. But as history has repeatedly shown, truth invariably besides its time before stepping decisively into the